Hello, guys, and welcome to our live virtual youth opportunities group session today. Right, just going to wait another minute or so for a few other attendees to join us. And while we're waiting, like I said to yourself, if there's anything that you want to share with us, please look on the top right-hand side of your laptop if you're using a laptop, or on your phone. You will see like a chat speech bubble, which you can put a little message on there for us. My colleague Sadia will monitor that. All right. So if you can just wait another minute or so and we'll start the session. Just wait for a few more numbers to come through. Okay, thank you. Hello, guys, and I say good afternoon to you all. Right, we've been running these sessions for a while now during lockdown, obviously working from home. As they call it, it's the modern workplace, really, and it's modern work methods. For a lot of you guys may have, had some experience through your family or even yourself. You might have been made redundant recently, or even come through furlough. So look, we'll cover, just wanted to say to you first and foremost, this is approximately going to be an hour session, and I'll go through a bit of what's going to happen through the slides today, explaining about the full session. We've got a few guest speakers on board as well. Seriously, hang around with us purely because the Youth Promise Plus is a voluntary project where we're trying to help you guys go into work, but trust me, under one umbrella, we've got a lot of partners and colleagues that work through Birmingham and Solihull trying to help you. And you will not find a project like this anywhere else at this present moment. Okay, there'll be vacancy opportunities that we'll discuss. There'll be training, even trying to get you guys job ready. So we're going to get started with the session. If there's any of you guys that have any technical difficulties, please log back in again or just send something on the chat box. And like I said, we'll try getting back to you at the end of the session today, or even if you can during the question and answer sessions as well. All right. So please interact with us. All right. This is the whole session is for you guys, not just for us. Okay, to talk. So text, and if we can, like I said, my colleague Sadia will try covering it all at the end of our presentations. Right, William, if you can move to the next slide for me, please, so I can just go through the full menu of today. Okay, guys, so first of all, it's myself, Abdul Muqtadir, who's going to be speaking about the work ready team that we have in the Birmingham City Council for Youth Promise Plus. But what is Youth Promise Plus? As I mentioned, it is a voluntary provision for you guys to come on board for anyone between the age of 15 to 29 and anyone living within the B postcode of Birmingham as well as Solihull, right? Under this Birmingham Youth Promise Plus, we have a lot of partners and stakeholders on board. Straight away, a lot of you guys would have been referred by the job centre today. And a lot of you guys may have come through referrals through your own accord. So I'm hoping we can cater for all of you guys, okay? And if there is something that we haven't covered, again, please put it on the chat box itself. Right. So like I said, I'll talk about Youth Promise Plus a little bit and what we do with the Work Ready team. Then it'll be my colleague Saab from Princess Trust. We'll go through some of the things that they have to offer through their provisions that they have. Now, I'll again just give you a bit more information regarding University Hospital that are working in partnership with ourselves on Youth Promise Plus and what they can do with any clinical roles that you might be interested in working within NHS. Okay, right. Then we also have Birmingham Youth Services and Birmingham Career Services that are working with us, covering, in your local area. And I'm hoping some of the youth centres may have opened as well. But we're slowly getting this, information from our hierarchies, telling us which youth centres are opening. Again, we can give you that information. Solihull Metropolitan Borough, which is SMBC Council, as we like to say. Now, They work on Youth Promise Plus as well for people that live in North Solihull, which is the Chelmsley Wood area, as well as Solihull itself. But one of the great aspects I want to cover as well today, that they provide independent travel training for anyone living in Birmingham or Solihull. And this involves, if you register on the Youth Promise Plus, helping you with travel costs, for example, if you go into work, or if you're worried about or anxious about going out there, going into work, from where you live, and you're not sure about during COVID-19 how to cover this. Again, they will go through with you, because your health and safety is paramount, not just for yourself, obviously, but we'd like to look out for your health and safety as well. Right, we also have Chris and Harry joining us today from Digital Innovators. Now, seriously, they've got a great provision for, again, graduates or non-graduates, and we'll cover this as well through Princess Trust and ourselves as well, but they will discuss what they have to offer today. And lastly, we will cover as many questions as we can, and we need you to provide those questions for us or any queries that you may have before we close of play today for 1 o'clock. Okay, right, so if you can get to the next slide, please, William. Before we start, just wanted to go through a bit of etiquette with yourselves. Now, if you're not sure about using Microsoft Teams, I know there's many other platforms out there like Zoom as well. If you're using your phone, on the top right hand side, as I mentioned earlier, if you just tap on there, you will see the option for chat bubble or speech bubble, and it's like WhatsApp really. You can actually type on there itself. Now, if you got a laptop, again, if you just hover your mouse just around the middle of the Microsoft Teams or your screen, it should come up with the same options for you as well. Okay, and on the other hand, if you can go to the next slide for me, please. By the way, guys, while we're waiting on this, just wanted to say, if you're having technical difficulties or you need to leave early, please get in touch with us through the the email address that we have. We will put this on for you. I'm sure my colleague Sadia, if she hasn't done so already, she will also put it on there for you. So you can get in touch with us through our website or the actual email address that we have, yog@birmingham.gov.uk. So that will be on there for you as well. Okay, right, just a bit of etiquette really for today. Yes, okay, we've given you the option to type in the inbox. Please be mindful of the people that are on there. It is monitored, so if you can keep to the emails that are professional, and if there's anything that's inappropriate, obviously we will delete it, but you will go back to the job center as well. Okay, so hopefully there will be no foul play today, and we can only give you some success stories of what we have from the past and give you some information that will help you seriously to get into work or training itself. And as I say, if you have technical difficulty, please try logging back out and logging back in again. And and if you can't come back in again, you've got our email address. You can get in touch with us, and we'll try and we endeavor to get in touch with you within 48 hours. Okay, right. William, if you can go to the next slide for me. Right, guys, as I mentioned, it is coming through to yourselves. We do have 2 methods of provision you can use to actually get in touch with us, and one of them is an email address and the other one is our website. So there you go. So the email address is yog@birmingham.gov.uk and our website is www.birmingham.gov.uk/YPP sign up. Now, today's session will be available to you through the YouTube link, but again, as I said to yourself, this is more, this session is being recorded more for our quality purposes and to improve the service for everyone like yourself coming on board as well. Okay, and William, if you can go to the next slide. Guys, there are some vacancies I wanted to quickly share with yourself, because some of you, like I said, may be leaving early or just want to know what this is all about. Now, at this present moment, we've been told, we need to talk about graduates, because clearly, you may have finished university and you're looking for work. We need to talk about school leavers who just want to go into apprenticeships, or there's guys like yourselves who may have come out of work and literally, you've got your accreditation, for example, if it's construction, which I deal with. We have construction vacancies which require for you to have CSCS card. So I've just put some on the screen for you there to look at. If you don't have a CSCS card and you want to go into construction, please get in touch with us ASAP. We have VSS and many others as well, like Clarion, working with us to get you the CSCS card. And I myself trying to get 5 days work experience for yourself, just so you can get yourself some training within construction over on Broad Street as well. Okay, there's some vacancies that I wanted to mention. If you're looking for admin, job centre itself, looking for work coaches, they're looking for 138 work coaches around Birmingham and Solihull. And it came live from the 15th this week, and it closes on the 23rd. Okay, so it's online, but if you need support to get this completed, please get in touch with us, and it is urgent that you complete this form. Now, HS2 high-speed rail coming out. We've got vacancies that are available through these guys as well. Just wanted to mention it's a great opportunity for us. Now, obviously, HS2, it's supposed to be for almost, 7 years now, and it could be longer because of the COVID-19. We've got the Curzon Street Railway station that's being built, and through the Midlands, which Balfour Beatty Vinci is currently looking after the project, building tracks, building bridge, building roads, even stations as well. Now, they're all looking for labourers, they're looking for administrative workers. Again, we've got a few vacancies. They're desperate for you guys to come on board with. And look, at this present moment, now there is labourer, if you've got a CSCS card available and you've got some experience. And there's also a chain person. Now, this is a person that will be looking at the financial aspect and the project itself as well. I'm just going to put it on again, just for you to look at quickly. And we will touch on this a bit later on as well. Okay, William, if you can go to the next slide for me, please. Guys, I just wanted to mention about a few other things that a council are looking for. Obviously, because of COVID-19, there's almost 60 vacancies available. And it's immediate stuff. Now, I know you might not be to see everything. It is sometimes 12 hours per day. You will get rotated basis, obviously, and it's 36.5 hours per week. I've been told we're looking for people at least minimum of 3 months work there. So if you're just looking to go back into something quickly, and it'd be a great asset as well to Birmingham Council for the next 3 months. You may even go on for longer. The other vacancies that we have available, as I mentioned, for the site support administrator role. Now, this is coming through soon. This is just an email that's come through to us, and I just wanted to share with you. Look, there are 3 roles. So this, HR team that are looking for 30 to 40 candidates to come on board for a virtual event, just like today. All right. So just like today, how we're having it today, there'll be the employers that will come on directly on this, and they'll be talking about the vacancy that they've got available. Now, yes, there's only 3 positions, but these guys are one of the world leaders when it comes to construction work. So it's not just construction. As you can see, they'll be looking for admin workers, they'll be looking for health and safety aspect, and as I said, customer service. Now, the office is based in Brindley Place in Birmingham. Okay, so that's where you will be based. I mean, just a few weeks ago, they were recruiting for what we call lab technicians, and I promoted this on this site during our session as well. And when it sounds like lab technicians, you don't need to have major degree or anything like this for this. All you needed was 3 GCSEs, including maths and English, and a driving license. And it sounds like a great position where wherever they're building bridge or a road, you take the soil, you bring it back to the lab, you test it, you'd compare it to, the right type of concrete that's needed. And then obviously, you won't be thrown into the deep end, you'll be getting training for this. So guys, listen, these opportunities will come up over and over again. So I just wanted to give you a little taster before we go on. William, if you can go on to the next slide for me, please. Right, this will be a video, just a little short video to share some success stories with you guys and to show you about our customers and clients and their experience directly while in work. Now, as I say to yourself, hopefully, it was before lockdown we recorded this video. We'd like to have some success stories, and I can already hear that we've got some success stories coming through, but we want you guys to be on these, so we want to give you a success story about yourself during lockdown, and I'm hoping we can give you a more up-to-date video including you guys going into work. So if you can just listen into some of the young people talking about their experience through this project. Okay, so William, if you can play that for me, please.
Are you 16 to 29 and looking for a job, a training or education opportunity? Do you live in Birmingham or Solihull? If the answer is yes, our one-to-one service can help you.
We work with young people who need that extra bit of support. We can help them look at their movement to education, training and work.
They gave me interpersonal skills, helped me build up my teamwork, my confidence. I have a job now thanks to them. I am going to college soon, in like 2 months. I'm going to study what I really am passionate about. I'm going to study game development, and I'm finally going to be able to do my GCSEs. I feel overall happy and better than I ever thought I would.
My advisor, Abdul, came in and told me about the program, and I was pretty much sold on it from then. They helped me like rewrite my CV and made it stand out, and they got me the interview, so I wouldn't be here without them. I think this is the best job I have. I'll recommend it to anyone.
There's lots of other things we do outside of employment for the young person to ensure that employment it can be sustained.
I'm a single mum. I've been single since she was born back in 2016. I've been in care. They've helped me boost my confidence. She's helped me realise that I can get a job.
We'd like to help you to look through your options. Youth Promise Plus wants to speak to you.
Right, guys. So, like I said to yourself, that's just one or two, short success stories about our clients that have gone into work. One of the other thing I just really wanted to mention about this as well. Obviously, COVID-19. We'll touch on it a little bit later on, but please remember this is a voluntary provision for you guys. So a lot of the guys I'll be speaking on today, even from my behalf, I've been in the game for about 14 to 15 years now. And a lot of them do ask, there's very great vacancies that come out. Why aren't you going for these things? Well, it's because we're passionate about what we do, I'm here talking to you guys, trying to not sell this program to yourself, tell you what we can offer to you. And I'm hoping you will take this on board as well, because seriously, if you need CVs doing, if you need that, not just hand-holding, if you need that little bit of guidance, we will be there for you guys, okay? If you need coming out to meet you guys with risk assessment in place, we will do so as well. Okay, so I just thought I'll put that in before we go on to just talk about what we do in terms of counsel and, slides after slides. But in terms of what my colleagues and myself, what we can offer for yourself, seriously, it does come from the heart a lot of the times, all right? So it's not just ticking boxes. One other thing I wanted to touch on was a lot of young people might be living in supported accommodation, or you might have a rent to pay. Look, we'll look at in-work benefit calculations for you before we start thinking of getting you out there into a job. I mean, just because you want admin, it might be that you don't want to work in an administrative work in a warehouse or a garage, for example, where it's cold, it's wintry. That might not be the environment that you want to work in. So we will discuss what, action plans. We will put a bespoke action plan to do with what you need and what your support needs are before we put you out there into a work environment. Right, William, if you can put the next slide up for me, please, so we can just tell everyone about what we do in the Birmingham Council. Right. I myself, with my colleague Sadia and Kuldi, we work as what we call the work ready team. So if you feel you just want to go into work and you've got that thing about yourself where you can go in and interview and meet an employer, listen, we can put you forward for these things. OK, so firstly, we do look at your individual needs. We do look at your health and personal support that you might require, as I just touched upon. Travel and other expenses. If you're with Youth Promise Plus, we can look at how we can provide you support. Now, right now, we provide what we call scratch cards for West Midland or National Express bus services. So, we can provide that for you as well. Again, I myself can come out and meet you in a safe sort of environment and provide those for you. We can even post it out to you if you give us ample time. Now, building confidence, help. We do work with yourselves individually, but if we can, obviously my colleague Sabjit can talk about this as well. Sorry. And in terms of coaching and mentoring, this is where our forte is. We can provide you that bit of little guidance to get ready for interviews. If you feel that you don't have enough training, as I mentioned, construction is my sort of aspect. I can try putting you into with an employer which can give you site experience, so you can go and talk to an employer and talk about the experiences that you would have got to work on any sort of construction site. Apprenticeship and traineeship, right? We've got a few of those coming through. As I mentioned, lab technician is one of them, but there's others coming through with traineeship and apprenticeship for electricians, even for administrative work as well. We work with Clarion, and Birmingham Metropolitan College as well, who provide the apprenticeship and traineeship as well. CVs and jobs, listen, you know, if you need a bit of tweaking here and there for CVs, sorry, we can update them for you quickly, obviously providing you give us the right information, and we'll put them on for you, so don't worry about that. And vacancies will help you to, you know, job search. I've just put 1 or 2 on there today, but I'm sure if they don't match and you come from a graduate, you're looking for graduate opportunities, sorry, we can look at those for you as okay. Right, and again, as I said to you, we will look at ways to do an action plan that will suit your needs, okay? So if you were to get in touch with us after this session today, if we can, obviously, we will email you, and if you need, you know, a bit of training, our colleague Saab will talk about this with Princess Trust, but please get in touch with us straight away. And we might also send you some emails through. And one of them, sorry, I wanted to mention, there will be a survey that will go out straight after this. So please do let us know, just so we can improve the service for the guys that come through next time. Right, William, if you can put on the next slide for me, please. Okay. Look, again, I've touched on this. COVID-19, you know, we have to think of different methods and ways of working. We have to think of different ways of traveling, even not just for our own safety, think about others as well, okay? So a lot of the employers these days might do virtual interviews. I've already had a few employers come on board to talk about how they'll be doing the virtual interviews. Microsoft Teams is one that's quite popular. As I mentioned, Zoom, and I know Chris and Harry coming on Digital Innovators, they will talk about other platforms that they use as well. Now we can get you ready for this. If you look on the bottom right hand side of the picture, you might have 3-4 people joining you through a video conferencing tool, and you might need to sit in a corner where it's quiet, you get a good connection. I know the central library is opening soon, so I'm hoping we can, you know, send you to the library where I know you'll get a good connection there, and you can get a quiet corner for interviews. But look, please talk to us, and we can set all this up for you if we need to get you out there. On the other hand, recently I've been given about 40-50 masks that have been handmade by a few of the local clubs, and they've donated these to us just to give out to young people like yourself if you need it. Now these are reusable, you can wash them, you can use them, and again, first come first serve really. Okay, thank you, William. If you can put it to the next slide for me, please. Right, guys, again, just in case I'm going on a bit here, it's our email address if you need to get in touch with us, which is yog@birmingham.gov.uk, and our website is www.birmingham.gov.uk/YPP sign up. Okay, right. Okay, so I just wanted to pass you on to my colleague Saab. I think you could do the new face on the screen at this current moment. Saab's going to talk about Princess Trust and what they have to offer, and maybe a little bit of touch on the NHS opportunities that we've got as well from the University of Birmingham Hospital. So I'll come back to you in a little while. Saab, are you there?
Yeah. Sorry, just bear with me. I think it's loading. Oh, there we go. Hi, everyone. So my name's Saab. I'm from the Princess Trust. So I'm an executive at the Princess Trust. So I work on a one-to-one basis and focus on employability and getting young people into employment, education and training. So the Princess Trust, we are a partner with the Youth Promise Plus project, and so we're here to support young people not in employment, education and training into it. So yeah, just a little bit about the Princess Trust. So we're set up by His Royal Highness Prince Charles. We're a leading UK youth charity. So I don't know whether you guys have seen us on social media, heard about us from friends or family. So we support young people at different stages. We recognise, you know, not everyone's at the same stage, and COVID has had an impact on kind of opportunities and competition when applying. But we're here to support you and help you to reach your potential, really. Yeah, so our centre isn't, so our Birmingham centre's in Digbeth. Our centre's not fully open at the moment, which kind of means we're offering a lot of remote and virtual support, or some of our programmes have a mixture of face-to-face delivery and kind of online support. But we've received a lot of kind of positive reviews and feedback about this. If we're okay to go on to the next slide, please. I'll come back to that one if that's okay. Perfect, thank you. So just going to give you kind of a bit more information about our core programs, so what's always on offer, and then some exciting upcoming programs that are starting soon, really, and how you can get involved with us. So we run weekly welcome sessions, so it's particularly for young people that, you know, haven't got involved with us or might have disengaged and are coming back to us after a while, where you can hear all about our upcoming programs. You might have, so it might be following on from this call, you might have seen something online that you're interested about, so that's just a good way for you to kind of get in touch with us initially. So yeah, that can be any time from our customer service team, really. Just a bit about, yeah, some of our other support. So we run an enterprise program, and that is for young people that, you know, have an interest in becoming self-employed. They might have a strong business idea or plan. So you just need to be aged 18 to 30, and you can attend an information session where you'll hear a bit more about our program. And then, you know, once you've joined the program and you think it might be right for you, you'll be assigned a business mentor who can support you for up to 2 years. We also have progression mentoring. So I know that Abdul mentioned a lot of like graduate support. So yeah, you just have to agree to a 6-month commitment, and you'll be matched to one of our volunteers, so with a wealth of experience in different sectors. Hopefully try and match you to someone, you know, with an interest in what you're looking to go into. But they're kind of there to offer one-to-one support. And yeah, we've got our virtual explore sessions. So these are employability and personal development sessions, all running online. So the personal development things cover like motivation, resilience, looking at being the best you, and our employability sessions focus on CV support, application forms, tips and tricks, yeah, in completing them, communication skills, so a wide variety of things. And we often say those sessions, as they're online, they normally run twice a week for an hour and a half. They run, they go along nicely with one-to-one support. And we offer these to young people that, you know, are looking to get into work, just need a little bit of a push or support to get into work. And yeah, so that'll be with a Prince's Trust youth worker, so such as myself, one of my colleagues. And that can be to look at updating your CV, finding jobs, which we know can be difficult in itself, applying for those jobs, mock interviews, anything like that, really. We've got some of our upcoming programs which I'll go into. So we've got our Get Into Transport Services, and this is a 2-week opportunity starting in October. So it's a mix between online training and work experience in a West Midlands railway location. So look to boost your employability skills, and you'll get customer service, health and safety, and conflict resolution training. We've got our Get Started in Health and Social Care, and that's a 3-day virtual program, and this focus is for kind of people looking to work in a clinical setting but outside the NHS. So you can learn about values-based recruitment and gain skills for working within the health and social care sector, and that's coming up at the end of September, so the 29th of September. We've got our, so I think it's on there as Get Hired, but we're recently rebranding, so it's called Ready to Work, and that's Ready to Work with DPD. So that's for ages 16 to 30, not in employment, education or training, and based in West Midlands. So that's online, and again, so it's 3 days. It starts on the 29th of September and running to the 1st of October, and that covers, so we've got micro employability sessions from HSBC to give you kind of confidence, tips and tricks, and to take your next steps into work. You'll receive a mock interview from our corporate volunteers, and feedback, so you know you're ready to meet employers. You'll be able to meet with DPD to hear more about upcoming vacancies and how to apply. But don't worry if you're not interested in working with DPD, we can source other opportunities for you, and you'll receive one-to-one support following on from that 3-day program. We've also got our Get Into Technology program, so we ran one earlier. It's a 12-week boot camp, and you can learn everything from becoming a cloud support to become a cloud support practitioner. So things such as technical skills, coding, to employment skills. So you need to be aged 18 to 29, not in any employment, education or training, ready to start the 12-week program, which will start in November and finish in January 2021. You don't need any qualifications, but you need to be, excited to start a career in technology. And that's run in partnership with Amazon Web Services. And at the end of the program, Generation, so our partner who run it, will connect you with hiring employers and support you with those application processes. And like after a month, 4 out of 5 of young people on the program actually starting employment, which is, yeah, brilliant. If we're okay to go back a slide, please. Yeah, so just to let you all know, we've got our coronavirus support hub on our website. So there's lots of free resources and support, and there's no strings attached. So, you don't need to be with us to access those resources, but just something really valuable. And there's also access to a jobs board, so you can see some upcoming vacancies. And there's also, yeah, wellbeing and career advice on there. Brilliant. If we can, yeah, 2 slides across, please. So yeah, upcoming, we have got our, where are we? Our clinical program with University Hospital Birmingham. So you need to be aged 18 to 29, not in employment, education or training, and it's an 8-week program. So the first week is full-time and 7 weeks is part-time. So that's actually starting in October with a case today to kind of see, if you are interested in the program, hear more about it, and like confirm your place. That'll be on the 6th of October. So you'll receive employability support, learn about the hospital's vision and values, and NHS jobs and application support. So yeah, so just a little bit further about something that I've missed about the Prince's Trust. We offer development awards. So you might have got a job and need funding before your first paycheck, for example, like travel, so a bus or train pass, vouchers for uniform or smart clothes, a DBS check, any sort of equipment. So you just need to be aged 16 to 30 and have solid evidence of starting, so either in employment, education or training. So you might have got a job through any of the YPP partners, but we can offer you funding to help you get there if that's something that you're struggling with. So yeah, I know there's a lot of programs and I've given you a lot of details, but definitely have a think about everything that I've said that's upcoming. And if you've got any questions or information, I can answer those in the chat box. I'll hand over to you, Abdul. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Saab. That was great. As I said to you guys, listen, there is lots and lots going on around Birmingham, and we're here to help you guys as well. Right. Just wanted to quickly talk about NHS University Hospital Birmingham. I know Saab mentioned this as well. Now, they run programs from the Learning Hub, which is based at the near the QE Hospital, just past the Birmingham University. Right. Yes, it is a bit of a distance for people that are living on this side of Birmingham. But again, as I said to you, there's going to be a bit more information regarding independent travel. And obviously, they can also run programs depending on the number of people they get from this side. At the Heartland Hospital, I've been told as well. Pete, I think, who actually supports on that program from Learning Hub itself. Now, I know you can't see this, but it's just a flyer there giving you details about where it is and the information regarding what Learning Hub can do for you. So if you email me, ourselves on yog@birmingham.gov.uk, and I've noticed Sadia has put this on the chat box, so you can just copy and paste it. We can send a copy out to you electronically. Okay, so get in touch with us seriously. Even if you're not interested in this program that's about to start in a few weeks, as Saab just mentioned, we can always put you on the next one. One thing I have been told, they get an 80% success rate on people who go on these programs to go into work within clinical areas, and once you're in NHS and you want to go and be I don't know, you want to go and promote yourself or progress to other sort of positions that are available, it would be a great sort of way in to nursing, for example, or working within theatres, operational theatres and other aspects. Because I know young chaps that I've gone through myself have gone into these sort of fields. Well, I do keep in touch with some of them, you say. Okay, right, William, if you can put the next slide up for me, please, kindly. Okay, I've just mentioned about this, so that's fine. It's the one after that. Right, these are our colleagues in Birmingham Youth Services, but there's also Birmingham Career Services, especially if you're a student leaver. You may have spoken to some of these guys at this present moment. Obviously, I need to mention these guys because they can work from your local area. And as I mentioned earlier, the youth centres are slowly opening up at this current moment. And, you know, if you don't want to wait for these travel tickets to go out to you through post, I'm hoping we can get them out to your local centres and we can distribute them, you know, with a bit more urgency, really, if you need them, for example, like tomorrow. Right, so Birmingham Career Service is working with anyone from the age of 15 to 19, so from up to the age of 19, sorry, and if you're 19 or over to the age of 25, Birmingham Youth Services can help as well to get you job ready or even give you that little guidance to find the relevant training that you might require. Right, William, if you can go to the next slide. Okay, just want to quickly touch on what we mentioned earlier about Solihull and what they have to offer through Solihull Council. Independent travel training is one of them. This is the part where they'll try going through it with you virtually or with a phone. And if you feel as though you need someone to come and see you, hopefully they can arrange that for you within Birmingham or Solihull itself and go through the travel training with yourself. Ideally, it will be through the bus services. If you need trains, you can speak to them individually. I'm not sure if they can help taking you on board and through the travel itself, actually, but they can give you advice. Okay, so next slide, please. Right, what they cover, NEET, meaning not in education or employment, just like the Youth Promise Plus itself. So you can't be in college education or you can't be working at this present moment. So if you're signing on, for example, and if you're even if you're not getting any benefit, but you're not in education or training, just like ourselves in Birmingham Youth Promise Plus, Solihull can do the same for you as well. So next slide, please, William. Right, I've covered a little bit about this, who we are. It's very similar to what we do in Birmingham. They've got a job shop in Chelmsley Wood. Hopefully it will open up again soon, where you can go and see these guys. And I just want to show you the next slide of some of the guys that are working on this program. So, yep. So obviously there's Amber, Anna, Vicky, and Sarah. There's also our colleague Saeed working on this, and there's V as well, working on the same program. These are lovely guys. So I just wanted to, obviously they wanted to share their video, photos with yourself, just so you can familiarize with some of the names and, you know, the faces itself. So please get in touch with us. If you feel as though, you know, you don't belong to the Birmingham area, you live in Chelmsley Wood or in that sort of area, we can get you connected with these guys. Okay, so next slide, please. Thank you, William. Right. COVID-19, you know, with coronavirus, and especially in Birmingham and Solihull at this current moment with the lockdown being in place, obviously it changes on a daily, on a weekly basis. So we have to risk assess in every aspect of the way. So if you feel anxious and you feel as though, you know, you need that bit of support before you can go out there in the world or meet even one of our guys, please get in touch with us. We can talk to you through email, over the phone, or even virtually like this. Get in touch with yourself. If you know, now that you've joined us, obviously you're familiar with, you know, with Microsoft Teams. We can connect through these means. So to have a good chat with yourself and see how we can help you and create that little action plan for you. Who is eligible? Well, again, as I mentioned, anyone from the age of 15 to 29, not in education or employment or training, and living in Birmingham or Solihull. Thank you, William. Right, I'm just gonna go to the next part of it now, and obviously hand you over to Chris and Harry, who are going to talk about the great program they have available, Digital Innovators. So if you feel as though you've got that little bit by yourself, that you're interested in IT aspect of it, listen, Chris and Harry can tell you everything about it. Okay, so Harry, shall I put you on?
Yeah, great stuff.
Okay, thank you, mate.
Thanks all. Just handing over to Abdul. I'm Harry, and I'm here with my colleague Chris. We come from Digital Innovators, and we are a kind of a training provider for young people in helping them upskill and also find their real calling, if we want to call it that. So if you want to move on to the next slide, Will, that would be great. And the one after that, actually. Fantastic. Yeah, so the real reason for Digital Innovators existing is that when we leave education in whatever way, shape or form that may be, so whether we've finished college, whether we've finished university, or whether we've just come straight out of school, what happens with a lot of young people, and certainly myself, is that going into the world of work, we never actually taught the real life skills that will be taught through the workplace. So for example, I'm talking about things like, how do we actually communicate in the workplace effectively? What does it mean to be a leader? How do we negotiate effectively? And all these different other aspects that we'll actually learn in the workplace. And what that means is that when we go into a new job or when we go into a new environment, we aren't able to adapt and we're not as resilient as we hope that we would be. And that is something that employers really look for when they're finding new recruits. So if you have that capability, then they will take you with open arms, and that's the real reason for Digital Innovators existing. So that's what we instill into yourself. The Digital Innovators team is made up of a variety of ex-professionals ranging from former actors within IBM to directors of BT. And what we actually implement into our program is the real business skills that are needed. The program itself is 13 weeks long, and for yourselves, what we do is it's not a normal classroom. What we do, well, obviously now we're doing it more virtually, but what we do is we have design thinking sessions, we have communication sessions in which we teach these needed skills. At the end of the program, so this is for 18 to 24-year-olds, at the end of the program and after these skills being taught and having real hands-on experience through projects that you actually do with employers, so you actually give it you're creating something for them, so you're having hands-on experience with them. At the end of the program itself, we aim to actually place you with the employer in an employment role. So whether that be as on a graduate scheme, whether that be as an apprentice, or whether that just be a full-time role, our aim is that it's kind of like a try before you buy system for a lot of these employers. So you go in there and it's you prove to them that you have these skills because you've been through the program, you've learned it through our various sessions and the actual projects themselves, and then the employers themselves, because you become such an incredibly valued student, they don't want to let you go. And that's our aim at the end of it. It's actually putting you into employment at the end of this 13-week program with the employer that you're working with. These employers, they range, and the projects themselves, they range from working with huge companies such as BNP Paribas, who the 5th biggest bank in the world, to the West Midlands Police Force, to National Grid and the NHS. And within these projects, we do everything from VR simulations to marketing strategies, to recruitment strategies, social media strategies as well. And by the end of it, you will have not only experience with these high-level employers, but you'll actually have a fighting chance of getting a job with them. I'm going to now hand over to Chris, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about it, a lot more than me anyway, as a former student. Anyway, over to you, Chris. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Harry, and thanks a lot, Abdul. Hi guys, I'm Chris. I'm a former student of Digital Innovators, and I'm currently working with them on a junior project manager apprentice course. So I'm just here to sort of tell you guys a little bit about my experience in Digital Innovators and how I've actually reacted to it. So when I first joined Digital Innovators, I did about a week-long trial period of it, because at that time it was sort of, you know, a trial period to get to know what the course would be like. And at that point, I was completely done with normal education. I really hated the fact that you just sort of sat in front of a screen or sat in front of a board and watched someone talk and then just wrote stuff down that you just heard them say. I really hated that sort of just really strict this, and this, and then it's done. No hands-on practical work. So I was actually looking to just sort of coast through my college experience, get a degree, and then leave and try and get a job. But when I actually did this week-long trial run of this course, Digital Innovators, it was incredible to me because we were actually learning things at the same time as doing things. So we played a lot of games that promoted team working, team building, confidence building, and it taught us all of these skills that we actually didn't know we were being taught at the time, but it was actually really important to us that we were taught those. So after that week, I actually joined onto the course because I liked it so much. And obviously the course that we're promoting now is 13 weeks, but at the time for me, it was around about a year. So I started the first year of the course and I did a project which was with Solihull College, which we implemented, or we were attempting to implement Office 365, Google Classroom into the college. So I was in a team of students, which if you cycle through the next two slides, please, William, these are the students who I was with. And actually, we made a lot of good progress on it. We met with a lot of high-up people, principals of colleges, companies. Sadly, the project fell through in the first year. However, we got a lot of experience out of it, and we got a lot of paperwork that we could actually reuse for our second project. So our second project was called the Comrade Challenge. So we were given a sort of vague outline in a competition to build the classroom of the future, and that's all we were told. We were told you do this, and then there's about 4 stages. You make a minute-long pitch video and a few things like that, and a business plan. And so we went through that, and in the end, using all of our paperwork from the first year, along with coming up with an idea of taking the 3 main learning types, so kinesthetic, auditory, and visual, so that everyone was sort of included in the education sphere, so to say. As well as mixing it with things like VR, so that people who were maybe had disabilities or were young carers could actually be in a virtual classroom rather than actually physically go in, which at the moment is quite apt. We actually went to the Excel Centre in London and presented it in front of very high-up people, such as Google directors and C-suite people from Microsoft, Smart, the people who make the whiteboards at the front of the classes. And it was a really good experience, not just because we got to present in front of all those people, but just because it was a big experience of, you know, education doesn't just have to be in this one classroom. You can go anywhere and do anything. And so after that project, I was actually taken on by Digital Innovators and put into, like I said at the start, a project manager course, a level 4 APM course. And I've been working with Digital Innovators ever since, and it's been a really, really great time. All I can say is, if you think you might like it, try it. If you don't, still try it. You know, there's no sort of thing you have to sign. You're not forced to stay there. It's a really, really good opportunity. And from my point of view, I'd just like to say and end it with, in the past 6 or 7 years of my educational life, from secondary school to college, I've learned more in the past 3 years of being with Digital Innovators than I have in that whole time. So yeah, Harry, back to you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Chris. So if we just want to skip, thanks, Will. So the program is an entirely free program. There is no there's no fee to being taken part from the there is no fee for taking part within the program. You're able to take part whilst claiming universal credit as well, which I think is a major part. The outcomes so far of the past 2 months for myself when I'm placing students is absolutely phenomenal. We're doing it at quite an amazing rate of placing students once they complete the program, purely because these companies come to us and they want students. They see that they've got something different about them. They see that they've got a spark in their eye, purely because they've had our unique curriculum instilled into them, and also they've had this real life business skills implemented into them as well. So what we do in terms of understanding new recruits and new students into the program is that we use a unique program called CMAP. So it's a psychometric assessment in which we actually try to understand who you are as a person. So your interests, your what drives you, what motivates you in the morning, what are you waking up for? Not only that, it also gives us an insight into the way that your mind works. Are you a logical thinker? Are you a more artistic person? And what we do with this assessment is we first of all place you with an employer that would actually like you, but we also place you within a project that you will find amazing and driven because it fits your personality profile perfectly. So what we're doing is everyone on this webinar, we're offering the free opportunity to actually take part and see what this questionnaire is like. So if you do want to do the free assessment, then please send us an email, info@digitalinnovators.co.uk, and we can get that sent out to you, and we can give you a free kind of assessment on the entire program and talk to you about various career options and things that you would never actually thought about doing. And that's what we're here to do. We're kind of here to open your eyes to other possibilities. That's all from myself. If there's any questions, please fire them over. Our email's also there, or just type in Digital Innovators into Google, and we're the first ones that pop up, so give it a little nosy. But that's all from myself. Thanks a lot, guys, for having us.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Harry.
Thanks a lot.
Seriously, it's always great to have these guys on board. As you can see, we can offer a variety, but these guys are experts in their fields, So get in touch with us. If you haven't got that website address, obviously get in touch with us through yogbirmingham.gov.uk or our website itself. And seriously, we'll put you across to Chris and Harry themselves, and they can answer the questions for you as well. Seriously, these are great opportunities that are coming about. And as I said, we've got to make the most of this lockdown as well. With the funding that's come through for these programs, they're not always going to be here. As I said, I've worked for almost 15 years, 14 to 15 years now. And there's been varied sort of funding that's come across, and they disappear. And then you still get questions coming up afterwards. Say, listen, can we do this again? I'm like, look, I'm sorry, but that funding's finished. Now there's been a few questions hopefully being asked. Sadia, are you there?
Hi, Abdul. Sorry, we haven't actually had many questions. However, we have had one person that's asked that they're interested in getting a CSCS card. So maybe, Abdul, if you can just go over how somebody can access a course, or just the options are available, really.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, firstly, if you're living within Birmingham and Solihull and you're not working, or you're not in education, the funding is available for you to go and get yourself a CSCS card, for example, that, if you require this. Now, to get this, depending on where you live, we can actually find a local area. At this current moment, we've got one starting soon through a company called VSS. They're based over in Newtown. They're opening the office quite new, actually, and they also offer FLT courses. So that hasn't started, so that's why I didn't mention it today. But look, with CSCS card, there's also Southend City College, and they're working quite closely with us. But whichever comes first, if there's an urgency for you to get this card, we can put you forward for this without any problem. And they will literally put you through the training, put you through the actual, I think it's multiple choice questions that you've got to do these days. So, they'll provide you with the fund to make the application for the card as well. And there's also companies that are offering, as I say, site visits. There's a great project that's running at this current moment, Moda Tower, which is being built in on Broad Street. They offer site visits through companies to go and see the towers. It's one of the tallest towers out of London that's now being built, which is 42 stories. But look, you're going to correct me, for those of you who know about construction in Birmingham, there's a 65-story tower that's going to go up soon as well over in Snow Hill. So, there's great opportunities coming up, and I keep mentioning about construction is because of what's going on out there in Birmingham. We've got the Commonwealth Games for 2022 over in Perry Bar. Now, I don't know if you guys live over in Perry Bar, the flyover is going to be demolished. So I myself live not too far from there, and it's creating havoc for us, really, because it used to take me 2 minutes to go over the flyover. Now it takes me about 20 minutes to go around. So, but again, it's not all negative. It's going to be a great outlay for Birmingham in the next 5 to 10 years with all this construction that's happening at this current moment. There's going to be so many houses that are going to be built next to the one-stop shopping centre over there. Again, they're looking for apprenticeship workers. We've recruited recently for 2 electricians. Apprenticeship, electrical engineering aspects of it. There's also Kia Group, which has been recruiting for the actual site marshals. And you saw one of them with one of the guys on there who talked about working as a site security guard, where you need your CSCS card and an SIA badge. Now, again, get in touch with us for all these options that are happening. So that person who wanted CSCS card, seriously, let me know, and I can send you the flyer and get you the contact with one of my colleagues there, Imyad, who can help you get that CSCS card that you require. Okay, Sadia, is there anything else?
No, Abdul, that's the only question that we've had.
Okay. Some of the things that we have been asked, look, how quickly can we get back to you? Look, if you get through to us through email on the yog@birmingham.gov.uk, you can put your contact number down. It makes it quicker for us to call you. But if you're going through our website, it only gives you the option to put your email address on there. So please monitor your email, because we try and we endeavor to get back to you within 48 hours. Okay, so do get back to us through an email, and we will again contact you. If we can't answer something for you, there's always a colleague out there who can. Like I said, with anything to do with digital innovators aspects, you got Chris and Harry. You've got anything clinical roles, any other training that you require. You got Saab and her colleagues over in Prince's Trust, and even Solihull, But these are just little bits and pieces that we've talked about today. But there's also many other opportunities that are going through admin work. If you want admin, please start applying for the work coach role, which is going with the DWP, the job centre. Hopefully, I should have some part-time positions coming up as well. In fact, the job coach or the work coach is a part-time positions available for them as well. The other part-time that might come up with, obviously, the public guardian over in Broad Street. I'm hoping for the government to obviously give us the go-ahead for the civil service offices to be open fully, and they'll be taking on twilight people for twilight shifts for admin positions. But look, these are just some things that we're covering. You come back to us, we will work with you on a one-to-one basis and get you out there in the best environment that you know is going to be good for you to build that career or to go and get that little qualification or training. Right, I just want to thank William Moody, who's our colleague, who's kindly come on board to really help us out on that very last minute, because we had 1 or 2 technical difficulties. And I did promise him that I owe him one. All right, thank you, William. And again, thank you to Saab, Sadia, Chris and Harry for joining us today. Hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Abdul.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.